Where energy flows, results grow, is something that we're going to be looking at today in Intention Monday. Hey, it's Rishi Patel, founder of Selling in Alignment, where I work with coaches and consultants to reprice and package their services so they can discover and live their purpose. And today is all about just touching on this powerful element in nature, which is earth. Earth is all about grounding. And so this is something that's particularly important for me, and maybe you can relate to it too, when you have a ridiculous amount of energy and you just want to be out there all the time and do everything, and you need to be grounded. And so that allows us to find a balance. And so today we're really talking about this idea of the earth and energy and flow and focus. One of the things that I'm seeing a lot of recently is that whatever you focus on is the thing that you get the growth around. So that can work for us and it can work against us. And so you're going to see inside of your mindset, what you focus on and put your energy towards is really the thing that is going to get the results that you want or that you don't want. And what do I mean by that? Let's look at this in terms of life and business, as we always do with these Intention Mondays. And again, I want to know from you what you're taking away from these Intention Mondays. Put it in the comments below and let me know, what are you applying to your week this week, and where are you really going to level the game up? So one of the things that we can look at is plants. In nature, the plants grow from the earth. So a couple of key elements are needed for plants to grow. One of them is definitely the sun, so we need light. The other one is definitely the water. Right? So that's another element that a plant absolutely needs. And another one that's as important as all the others is the earth. And so when you plant something and you want it to grow into a flower, it needs to be nurtured. And one of the ways in which we do that is we give it these elements, right? We give it the light, we give it the water. And it's so key because if we nurture it in a specific way, it's going to grow in a specific way. And if we don't nurture it, if we deprive it from those elements, then it's not going to grow, and eventually it will die because it needs to be sustained. As with anything in nature and as with ourselves in sales and business, one of the things that we need to be grounded in, right? One of the things that we really need to get clarity around is the fact that sales actually runs the business. It's something that needs to be constantly nurtured. It needs the water, it needs sunlight, the equivalence of that being your time, energy, and attention, and your relationship to the whole idea of selling. That's what needs to be nurtured, and there's a power inside of doing that. So let's talk about some of this today. You know, we're really looking at the daily activities. What are our daily habitual patterns that we apply ourselves to inside of our business? Like, what is it for us that we're getting a shift around, or we're not getting a shift around, that really have us stand in our power around selling? So we may have a relationship with selling. So the focus of sales may be, you know what? I don't really want to sell. I don't really like selling. It's icky. Some people even lie to themselves. They tell themselves they don't sell. You know, that's another really interesting one. They say, no, I don't do sales in my business. You know, people just come to me. Okay, you know, when we look at our results and we get really honest with ourselves and see if that approach is working, we're going to be able to have a real conversation. What it is, unfortunately, is the relationship that people have created with the word sales. And that's where we want to get grounded, and that's where this element of earth comes in. So let's be honest, the word sales is just a word. It's the word. It's a 5-letter word, sales. What we associate with it may be a negative feeling, and that, unfortunately, will be the thing that eventually grows and the thing that eventually stops the business or has it reach a plateau. Once we change and redefine our relationship with the word sales, that's when we get to see a systematic growth. And that is a part of one of the elements that our flower needs in order to build a flourish, right? So the relationship with the word sales is the equivalent to the sunlight or to the rain or to one of these elements that are required in order for this flower to be able to grow. And this is really key. Like, we really want to get this. And this helps us to really create a solid foundation. And that's what earth gives us, is foundation. See, the earth is solid. It's an element that is solid. You can actually feel it. It's tangible. It's something you can pick up and you can let go of and you can see, like the earth or the dirt or the mud or whatever you want to call it. Like, there's that element of solidity. You can stand on it. It's physical. It's real. And it gives you that groundedness. It brings you back to a reality. And some of these realities, unfortunately, they're a little painful. Some people just do not have the good relationship with the idea of selling. And that's really sad. And what we do at Selling in Alignment is we completely redefine that through a systematic process. And so when people come out the other end of that, they don't even feel like they're selling anymore, but they are. And they're just doing it in a really powerful way, which has them feel good about themselves, which has their client feel good about themselves, and we create an amazing win-win situation. And that's how we completely redefine the idea of selling. And that's where we can get grounded in a new definition. See, these elements are so incredibly powerful. And so where are we focusing, right? If we're focusing on this idea of this is a negative idea and I don't like the idea of selling, I don't want to sell, and selling is a bad thing, we're just going to create more of that. It means that we'll go away from the idea of daily activities of putting content out there to nurture our potential clients. We won't get onto the phone and we won't reach out and create conversations in order to empower people. Because that's really all sales is, just a transfer of passion, of enthusiasm, of energy. Why am I so good at selling? One of the things that you'll see consistently, if you go back and look at my Intention Mondays or any content that I put out there, is I put a massive amount of energy out there. I'm very passionate, I'm very enthusiastic about who I am for people and what I do and how I serve. And that's one of the ways in which we naturally get a good sales going through a business, how we get good sales numbers, how we get amazing metrics. Like, it's who you're being. Are you being high energy? Are you passionate? Are you enthusiastic? Or are you focusing on that side of sales which feels disempowering, which feels like you don't want to do it, which feels like it's not the thing that you would just push it to the back? Because then that energy is going to grow. And so that's why I called this Intention Monday, where energy flows, results grow. Right? Because if your energy is inside of, I don't want to do this, I'm resisting this, that's what your results are going to then reflect. And that's really sad. And most coaches and consultants that I work with at the beginning of the journey with Selling Alignment, they're coming to this with all of this baggage. And interestingly, it's not just around the business, it's at all of these different aspects of their life. And what they see is when we solve it inside of their business, all the other aspects of their life show up differently. Recently, I started working with an amazing coach who told me that her clients are coming to her and they're coming through all these problems. They don't have the money, they don't want to do it yet, they make all the excuses. And I said to her, well, look, let me tell you a little secret. Because you're showing up in a completely different way, guess what? Your clients are now going to show up in a completely different way. Why? Because you're making a change. And it was true. Within 6 days, she had a paid in full sale for a coaching client. Within a week after that, she had another paid in full client, and now she's onboarded more. And so she's made more sales in a month than she ever has in her business running it for 5 years. Why? Because we changed who she's being and the way in which she's showing up. We gave her a groundedness in this relationship around what selling is. And that's very powerful, right? And her life is completely different. So now she's on holiday with her kids, beautiful thing, and we're just getting this growth and this amazing reconnection to what this is all about. And so we want to stay grounded. We want to stay aligned. When we're grounded, we're aligned. And this is how beautiful this whole idea of selling in alignment is. Because when we're creating a connection with someone to serve them in an empowered way, what we're really doing is we're giving them a groundedness. And that's a beautiful, beautiful feeling all the way around. So there needs to be a patience and a persistence. Yes, it takes time to redefine your relationship with sales. Trees grow very slowly from very deep roots. And so success in the world of selling doesn't come immediately, doesn't come overnight. Especially if you're bringing a lot of baggage to the space, we need to completely redefine that. And that can take a little time. So be patient with yourself, be patient with your journey, and reach out to a mentor, reach out to someone who can help you, reach out to someone who can give you a shift inside of this relationship so you're more grounded and you capitalize on the beautiful elements that exist in nature and apply them into your business and grow and thrive instead of struggling with your selling efforts. That's it from me. Until the next time, keep selling in alignment.